down the line because there's certainly a storyline built in. But this is a very, very tough competitive matchup. Now, Justin Gaethje is no spring chicken. I think he's 36 years old. But you know what you're going to get with Justin Gaethje. Yes, of course, against Max Holloway at UFC 300, he got knocked out. He got embarrassed. He got face planted. I tell you what, it was a shocking scene, okay? But that's not normally what happens with Justin Gaethje. He is one of the most exciting fighters. They do call him the human highlight reel for a reason. He's got great wrestling, but the boxing, the striking, the leg kicks, the punch power that he has. I'm telling you, this man...
MMA Guru just declared Paddy Pimblett isn't just winning, he's submitting Justin Gaethje. Let that sink in. Submitting Gaethje. The man known for his brutal power and iron chin, potentially getting tapped out by the Baddy. It's a bold, almost scandalous claim shaking up the fight world, making everyone question everything they thought they knew about this matchup. This isn't just an upset prediction, it's a full-blown declaration of Pimblett's grappling dominance over a striking legend. The audacity of the prediction has the entire MMA community buzzing, wondering if Guru sees something everyone else is missing. The stakes just got astronomical for UFC 3D4, and the experts are already deeply divided on the outcome of this blockbuster lightweight clash. Luke Thomas, another respected voice, sees a clear path for Paddy. Exploit Gaethje's ground game vulnerability. He believes Pimblett only needs a good clinch to drag Justin down, highlighting a potential Achilles heel for the striking powerhouse. This strategy, if executed perfectly, could neutralize Gaethje's notorious stand-up, forcing the fight into Paddy's preferred domain. It's a high-risk, high-reward approach, betting on Pimblett's grappling prowess against Gaethje's formidable takedown defense. The tactical battle for control and position will be absolutely crucial from the opening bell. But Luke quickly injects a dose of brutal reality. Justin Gaethje needs only one clean shot to change the fight instantly. This stark warning underscores the immense power Gaethje possesses, a force capable of ending any contest in a blink. Even if Paddy manages a takedown, the journey to that point is fraught with peril. Every exchange, every feint carries the potential for a devastating counter. Gaethje's concussive power casts a long shadow over any opponent's game plan, a constant looming threat that demands absolute perfection from Pimblett's defense. Luke frames this bout with profound narrative significance. It feels like Justin's final big run in the sport, a quest to solidify his legacy, while it's Paddy's big chance to prove he can hang at the top. This isn't just a fight, it's a pivotal moment for both careers, a clash of generations and aspirations. For Gaethje, it's about cementing his place among legends. For Pimblett, it's about ascending to elite status. The emotional weight attached to this contest adds another layer of intrigue, promising a truly unforgettable spectacle inside the octagon. He elaborates on Paddy's signature grappling entry, a precise level change, then coming up behind one of the opponent's elbows, immediately transitioning into a body lock. Once Pimblett secures that position, Luke declares, "It's a problem." This technical breakdown reveals the sophisticated setup Paddy uses to initiate his grappling sequences, designed to quickly control and destabilize his adversaries. It's a fundamental move, but incredibly effective when executed by a grappler of Pimblett's caliber. Understanding this key technique unveils a crucial aspect of Pimblett's overall strategy. Luke then explains the immediate options from this dominant body lock: a Kosoto hook, a trip, or forcing the opponent to their hands. This tactical versatility makes Pimblett's takedowns so dangerous, as he has multiple avenues to bring the fight to the ground. Luke predicts the odds will be kinda close, acknowledging Paddy's good shot chance to win, but he cautions about real risks associated with Pimblett's defensive striking, particularly against a puncher like Gaethje. The razor-thin margins ensure this fight will be a chess match with explosive consequences. However, Thomas, another highly respected analyst, offers a starkly contrasting perspective, believing Justin Gaethje holds a big advantage over Paddy. He emphasizes Gaethje is still very dangerous and hard to handle once he gets going. This immediate counter-narrative sets the stage for a heated debate, positioning Gaethje as a relentless force who can overwhelm any opponent once he finds his rhythm. It's a testament to Gaethje's enduring threat, reminding everyone that his legendary aggression isn't diminishing anytime soon, regardless of his recent fight history. Thomas expresses serious concern that Paddy might struggle to avoid Justin's heavy strikes because he can't take him down easily. This identifies a critical vulnerability. If Pimblett's primary path to victory, grappling, is blocked, he'll be forced to stand and trade with one of the most dangerous strikers in the sport. This defensive challenge could prove insurmountable, leading to a long night of absorbing punishing blows. The inability to dictate where the fight takes place could be the ultimate downfall for the Baddy. Over 5 grueling rounds, Thomas believes Justin's ability to remain violent and keep pressure on Paddy will force mistakes from Paddy, ultimately making it incredibly hard for him to win. This paints a picture of a relentless onslaught, a war of attrition, where Gaethje's unwavering intensity breaks down his opponent's composure and technique. Fatigue and accumulated damage would only amplify the pressure, leading to critical errors that Gaethje is notoriously adept at exploiting. This is a forecast of pure unadulterated violence designed to dismantle Pimblett's game plan. He further mentions that while Paddy has shown he can hang with tough opponents, he crucially doesn't have the experience or the skills to match someone like Justin when the fight really gets serious. This stark reality check underscores the gap in elite-level experience, suggesting that Gaethje operates on a different plane once the championship rounds loom. The moments of true adversity against top-tier contenders are where Gaethje shines, and Thomas implies Pimblett hasn't faced that kind of sustained high-pressure challenge yet. Despite Justin Gaethje getting older, Thomas firmly believes he's still very effective and can handle Paddy without much trouble. This dismisses any notion that Gaethje's age is a significant disadvantage, asserting that his skills and fight IQ remain sharp enough to navigate a challenging opponent like Pimblett. It's a vote of confidence in Gaethje's enduring quality and his ability to adapt, highlighting that experience and fight wisdom can often trump youthful exuberance, especially at the highest levels of the sport. Paradoxically, Thomas points out that this fight might actually represent Paddy's best shot at a UFC title. He views Justin's current career stage, seeking to secure his legacy with another belt, as an unexpected opportunity for Pimblett. This intriguing take suggests that while Gaethje is a formidable challenge, his motivation for legacy over sustained dominance could create an opening for a hungry contender. It's a unique perspective, hinting that the dynamic between an established legend and an aspiring star makes this matchup unusually ripe with opportunity for Pimblett. He draws a brutal comparison to Max Holloway's performance against Gaethje, asserting that Paddy Pimblett doesn't have the ability to do that, referring to standing and trading effectively. This is a damning assessment of Paddy's striking prowess against an elite, implying he lacks the necessary tools to engage Gaethje in a purely stand-up battle. Holloway's legendary performance set a high bar, and Thomas believes Pimblett falls far short, suggesting a fundamental mismatch if the fight stays on the feet for extended periods. Thomas then delivers another blunt assessment regarding Paddy's ground game against Gaethje. "I'm pretty sure Paddy Pimblett can't take Gaethje down." This statement is a direct challenge to the popular narrative of Pimblett's grappling advantage leaning pretty heavily towards Gaethje's takedown defense. If Pimblett truly can't carry the takedown, his primary path to victory becomes severely limited, leaving him exposed to Gaethje's devastating striking arsenal. This pivotal point could reshape the entire fight strategy for both camps. Thomas acknowledges that Justin Gaethje is moving better now, showcasing an evolution in his game, yet he retains the dangerous ability to really sit down and be violent when he chooses. This combination of improved footwork and raw power presents an incredibly complex problem for any opponent. Gaethje can evade and then unleash devastating combinations, making him a dynamic and unpredictable threat. This blend of agility and concussive force makes him a truly terrifying adversary, capable of adapting to different phases of the fight. Ultimately, Thomas concludes that Gaethje's ability to dish out punishment will force Paddy to make some mistakes. This prediction forecasts a breakdown under pressure, where the relentless aggression and heavy strikes from Gaethje wear down Pimblett's defenses and lead to critical errors. It's a grim outlook for Paddy, suggesting that merely surviving Gaethje's onslaught will be a challenge, let alone executing his own game plan flawlessly. The fight becomes a test of durability and mental fortitude above all else. MMA Guru, however, doubles down on his bold prediction, stating Pimblett is coming into his prime and has been in great shape for a while for this matchup, contrasting sharply with Gaethje, who has just been through more and more wars. This generational clash narrative frames Pimblett as the ascending star with fresh momentum against a seasoned warrior whose body might be accumulating wear and tear. Guru champions Pimblett's current physical peak as a decisive factor in what will be an incredibly demanding fight. Guru highlights Pimblett's strategic approach, noting his very good range, his ability to keep distance, and his avoidance of getting caught up in the pocket too much. He describes Paddy's volume striking, featuring 1-2-1-2 and then a jump knee, as well as dynamic things that can get the better of Gaethje. This detailed breakdown of Pimblett's striking showcases a nuanced game plan designed to outmaneuver and outpoint Gaethje, rather than merely brawling. It's a testament to Pimblett's evolving stand-up, aiming for precision and unpredictability. Crucially, Guru emphasizes Pimblett's back-taken ability and control that stick to you, that gets you in a submission position type jiu-jitsu. He draws a parallel to what Rafael Fiziev did, holding Gaethje down in an inverted triangle position for most of a round, arguing Pimblett has the superior grappling to maintain such control. This suggests Pimblett's path to victory lies significantly on the mat, using his jiu-jitsu to neutralize Gaethje's striking and exploit any openings. It's a strategic blueprint that could redefine the entire fight. MMA Guru doesn't just stop at a win, he concretely predicts Pimblett will take the fight by TKO to ground and pound in the second round, or a submission win in the second round. These are incredibly specific and explosive outcomes, suggesting a decisive finish for Paddy early in the contest. Such a clear prediction with defined methods and timelines speaks to Guru's unwavering confidence in Pimblett's ability to dominate and finish a fighter of Gaethje's caliber. The entire MMA world will be watching to see if this audacious forecast comes true. So, the experts are deeply divided. Some back Justin's raw power and experience to overwhelm Paddy, viewing him as an unstoppable force. Others see Paddy's evolving skills, strategic movement, and underrated grappling as his ultimate advantage, believing he can pull off a monumental win and solidify his place at the top. With Pimblett already in fight camp, reportedly ready even before the announcement, the stage is set for a truly fast-paced, action-packed clash. This isn't just a fight, it's a test of wills, a collision of destinies. Who are you backing when the cage door locks? Paddy is FUD. The words hit like a hammer blow across the MMA world. Arman Tsarukyan, the lightweight division's undeniable force, just threw down an open challenge, not to Paddy Pimblett, but for Justin Gaethje. He offered to fly across the globe, train with Gaethje, and personally help beat his ass so everyone could forget about Paddy for all our life. This wasn't just trash talk, it was a declaration of war, ripping apart the fabric of the division and exposing the raw, unfiltered animosity brewing beneath the surface. The UFC just got a whole lot messier, and everyone is now watching. This bombshell erupted after Dana White's shocking announcement: Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight title. The reason? Ilia Topuria, the reigning champion, pulled out of his first quarter fight due to undisclosed personal issues. Suddenly, the lightweight landscape was flipped, creating an unexpected path to gold, but also a firestorm of controversy. The winner would not only claim an interim belt, but also secure the next undisputed title shot against Topuria, making the stakes astronomically high. This unexpected pivot left many questioning the fairness of the situation. Topuria himself weighed in, sending a cryptic tweet to Paddy: "Paddy, win your next fight, hands up, chin down." He then posted a dancing clip, aimed directly at Arman, taunting him with the message, "This dance is for you." Fans were immediately divided. Some relished the mind games, seeing it as classic MMA drama, while others slammed it as an unnecessary distraction, fueling a rivalry that was already simmering at a boiling point. The champion's words only amplified the chaotic atmosphere, adding more fuel to the division's raging inferno. Arman Tsarukyan, however, remained unapologetically blunt when asked about backing up the interim title fight. His answer was a resounding no, unless the UFC offered an astronomical sum. Yet, he conceded he'd stay ready in the shadows, just in case fate intervened a couple of weeks before the fight. If an opportunity arose from injury or a last-minute withdrawal, Arman, ever the opportunist, confirmed he'd jump in, willing to seize the moment no matter the risk. This calculated stance revealed his strategic mind amidst the chaos. Tsarukyan's true feelings about Paddy were laid bare. When pressed on whether he'd rather silence Pimblett himself, Arman didn't hesitate. He vowed it wouldn't be a quick submission or a swift finish. Instead, he promised an absolute mauling on the ground. Elbows only, all day, all night, until Paddy's face was a bloody mess, covered in a lot of marks. His goal was explicit: to inflict lasting physical damage, a chilling statement that sent shivers down the spines of fans and rivals alike. The personal animosity was undeniable and brutal. Turning to Justin Gaethje, Arman expressed a hopeful, almost desperate plea. He urged Gaethje to maintain absolute discipline, no partying, no distractions, just full focus. Arman viewed this as Gaethje's last real shot at UFC Gold, a chance to win the interim belt, fight for the undisputed title, and then retire on top. His offer to fly out and help Gaethje train wasn't just a gesture, it was a testament to his fervent desire to see Gaethje succeed, primarily driven by his intense disdain for Paddy Pimblett. The stakes couldn't be higher for Gaethje. Bisping then gave Paddy his due, highlighting his dominant performance against Michael Chandler. He reminded audiences that Chandler, who notoriously went to war with Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, was schooled by Pimblett, beaten far worse than anyone anticipated. This victory, Bisping argued, solidified Paddy as the real deal, showcasing his improved skills and mental fortitude under pressure. The context of Chandler's toughness against top names made Paddy's win even more impressive, proving his mettle against a genuinely dangerous opponent and raising his stock considerably. Adding to Paddy's newfound respect, Bisping observed Paddy's recent physical transformation. Previously known as Paddy the Fatty, for his drastic weight fluctuations, Pimblett appeared lean, shredded, and in the best shape of his life even before the fight announcement. He was seen playing paddle tennis, shirtless, glistening in the six-pack. This dedication, Bisping stressed, indicated a profound shift in Paddy's commitment and professionalism, suggesting he was taking his career more seriously than ever. The old narratives were being shattered by his evident preparation. For Justin Gaethje, Bisping framed this interim title shot as his final crack of the whip. Having already failed in 2 undisputed title attempts against Khabib Nurmagomedov and Charles Oliveira, this bout represents his last desperate chance at UFC Gold. It's a do-or-die moment, a fight where his legacy hangs in the balance. For Paddy, an interim belt would catapult him into #1 contender status, solidifying another UK champion and cementing his place among the elite. The fight carries immense weight for both careers, a true crossroads. Luke Thomas offered a more analytical breakdown, categorizing the matchup as a classic striker versus grappler encounter. He emphasized Gaethje's superior striking, cleaner punches, and immense power. Thomas pinpointed Paddy's defensive flaw, his habit of keeping his chin exposed, a dangerous vulnerability against a precision striker like Gaethje, who needs just one good shot to turn the tide. This glaring weakness, Thomas warned, could put Paddy in dire straits very quickly, underscoring the precarious nature of facing a knockout artist. However, Thomas also identified Paddy's unique advantage, his backtake prowess, a skill Gaethje notoriously struggles with. If Paddy can bypass Gaethje's defensive wrestling, get behind his elbows, or secure a tight body lock, he possesses the ability to drag Gaethje down and climb onto his back. Once there, Paddy is a relentless force, hard to shake off, posing a significant submission threat. This strategic pathway, Thomas suggested, offers Paddy a clear route to victory, neutralizing Gaethje's striking dominance on the feet. Thomas predicted the betting odds would be remarkably close, reflecting the high-risk, high-reward nature of the fight. He reiterated Paddy's size advantage at lightweight, believing he only needs a good clinch to initiate his grappling game. Yet, the ever-present danger of Gaethje landing one clean shot looms large, capable of instantly altering the fight's trajectory. This bout, Thomas concluded, is Gaethje's final big run and Paddy's ultimate chance to prove his elite-level capabilities, a definitive test for both men's careers. In stark contrast, Dan Thomas asserted that Justin Gaethje holds a significant advantage, particularly over 5 rounds. He described Gaethje as still a banger, incredibly dangerous, and difficult to contain once he starts rolling downhill with his trademark aggression and violence. While acknowledging Paddy's craftiness, Thomas expressed skepticism about Pimblett's ability to consistently evade Gaethje's heavy strikes or secure easy takedowns. He believed Gaethje's relentless pressure would eventually force mistakes from Paddy, proving too much to overcome. Dan Thomas further argued that while Paddy has shown resilience against tough opponents, he lacks the experience and diverse skill set to match Gaethje when the fight escalates. He suggested Gaethje's ability to dictate pace through sheer violence would present insurmountable problems for Pimblett. Despite Gaethje's age, Thomas believed he remained highly effective and capable of handling Paddy without much trouble. He provocatively noted that this fight might ironically represent Paddy's best shot at a UFC title, given Gaethje's late career stage. MMA Guru, however, presented a compelling case for a Paddy Pimblett upset. He highlighted Paddy's intelligent use of distance, maintaining a very good range and avoiding prolonged exchanges in the pocket, where Gaethje thrives. Guru praised Paddy's volume-based striking, featuring 1-2s and jump knees, combined with dynamic movements designed to disorient Gaethje. He also noted Gaethje's accumulating wear and tear from more and more wars, contrasting it with Paddy's prime physical condition, honed from consistent pre-camp training. MMA Guru went further, boldly predicting a potential submission victory for Paddy. He argued that Pimblett's superior back control and ability to stick to opponents in compromising positions could lead to Gaethje's downfall, drawing a parallel to Rafael Fiziev's brief control of Gaethje, who lacked the jiu-jitsu to maintain it. Guru believes Paddy possesses the necessary skills to keep Gaethje grounded and capitalize on mistakes. His forecast: a TKO via ground and pound or a submission win in the second round, setting up a fight with Topuria. Ariel Helwani, never one to shy from controversy, slammed the interim title fight as bogus and unnecessary. He fully supported Topuria's decision to pull out due to personal issues, calling it the mature, professional, and smart thing to do. However, Helwani criticized the UFC for creating an interim belt when Topuria had only won the undisputed title in June. He argued that Gaethje vs. Paddy should have been a 5-round co-main event, a mere #1 contender fight, with Topuria vs. Armain scheduled for later in the year. Solwani's outrage intensified over Arman Tarakian's blatant bypass. Arman, who did everything right, waited, made weight as a backup, and decisively finished Dan Hooker, was inexplicably left floating in the wind. Helwani called it insane that Gaethje and Paddy were granted an interim shot, and even more baffling that their fight would headline the card over more murder matchups. He lambasted the UFC for seemingly making up rules as they go, drifting further from a legitimate sport and closer to WWE-style booking. Wade Clemens echoed the sentiment, blasting the interim title fight as making zero sense when Arman Tsarukyan, the undisputed rightful #1 contender, was completely excluded. He pointed out the absurdity of the winner automatically getting an Ilia title shot, further exposing the ridiculous matchmaking. Clemens asserted that Dana White wouldn't even attempt to explain the decision, as the UFC continues its alarming trajectory away from a sport and further toward WWE, sacrificing competitive integrity for dramatic narrative. Clemens questioned the very foundation of the matchup. Gaethje, who previously declared he'd retire without a title shot, now gets an interim one, seemingly getting what he wanted. Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett, despite a fun rivalry with Ilia, is vaulted into a #1 contender spot, having primarily beaten old men like Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green, and then Michael Chandler. Clemens argued that Paddy hasn't defeated a single top 5 fighter to genuinely deserve this opportunity, making the division feel entirely upside down and driven by narratives, not merit. Paddy is fucked. The words ripped through the MMA world, not from a rival in the cage, but from Arman Tsarukyan. He didn't just offer to help Justin Gaethje train, he delivered a chilling promise to eliminate Pimblett. It was a declaration of war, straight from Arman's mouth, leaving no doubt about his contempt and setting the stage for an explosive, unexpected challenge that nobody saw coming. The silence that followed was deafening, the implications immediate and profound. This bombshell dropped immediately after Dana White officially confirmed the interim lightweight title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. The reason? Champion Ilia Topuria had unexpectedly withdrawn from fighting in the first quarter, citing personal issues. This sudden shift completely upended the division, forcing the UFC to scramble and creating a contentious matchup that instantly drew criticism and ignited fierce debate among fans and fighters alike about its fairness and necessity. Adding fuel to the fire, Ilia Topuria himself jumped into the fray. He posted a cryptic tweet telling Paddy to win your next fight, hands up, chin down. Then, in a move that seemed designed purely to provoke, he shared a dancing clip aimed directly at Arman Tsarukyan. This deliberate act of mind games and taunting only intensified the drama, leaving fans with mixed reactions and even more questions about the true state of the lightweight division and its contenders. Arman Tsarukyan's fury wasn't just talk. When asked if he'd step in as a backup for the interim title fight, he flatly refused unless the UFC offered good money, highlighting the cold, hard business realities of the sport. Yet he admitted he'd stay ready, just in case something happens a few weeks out, signaling his calculated willingness to jump at any opportunity, even if it meant taking on unforeseen risks without proper preparation. Again revealed a truly brutal plan if he ever got his hands on Paddy Pimblett. He declared it wouldn't be a quick choke, but elbows only all night, aiming to leave Paddy's face bleeding and covered in a lot of marks. This wasn't just fight talk, it was a deeply personal, visceral promise to inflict maximum damage, exposing a raw, intense hatred for Pimblett that few had anticipated and that sent shockwaves through the fighting community. Arman didn't stop there. He offered Justin Gaethje direct advice. He urged Justin to stay disciplined, to avoid drinking and partying, and to dedicate himself fully. The Sarukian called this Gaethje's last chance to win an interim title, secure a shot at the undisputed belt, and then retire on top. He even offered to fly out and help Justin train, making his strong preference for a Gaethje victory abundantly clear. Michael Bisping weighed in on the matchup, reminding everyone of Justin Gaethje's enduring threat. Despite his shocking knockout loss to Max Holloway, Bisping emphasized that Gaethje remains the human highlight reel, with insane power, devastating kicks, and relentless pressure. This brutal assessment underscored that Paddy Pimblett would be stepping into the cage with one of the most dangerous, unyielding forces in the lightweight division, making the fight anything but a walkover. Interestingly, Bisping also offered surprising praise for Paddy Pimblett. He pointed out how Paddy had schooled Michael Chandler, beating him far worse than anyone expected. Bisping highlighted Paddy's recent transformation, noting he looked lean, shredded, and in the best shape of his life, effectively retiring the Paddy the Fatty nickname. This unexpected physical and performance shift suggested a new, serious contender emerging from the UK. The interim title fight carries immense stakes for both men. For Paddy, a win would catapult him to #1 contender status and add another UK champion to the UFC's growing list. However, for Justin Gaethje, Bisping framed it as his final run, a desperate last-ditch effort to claim UFC gold after 2 previous failed title attempts against Charles Oliveira and Khabib Nurmagomedov. This fight, for Gaethje, is truly do or die. The controversies continued beyond the lightweight division. Merab Dvalishvili, the bantamweight contender, made waves with a bold self-assessment, placing himself at #3 in the pound-for-pound rankings, behind Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. This confident declaration, coming right before a critical fight, sparked immediate debate and further intensified the scrutiny on his upcoming performance, challenging existing perceptions of top fighters. Dvalishvili is indeed poised on the brink of history at UFC 3023 against Peter Yan. Should he emerge victorious, Merab would achieve an unprecedented feat, his 4th title defense within a single calendar year. This accomplishment would make him the first fighter in UFC history to defend his belt 4 times in 12 months, adding extraordinary pressure and a massive historical imperative to his already high-stakes rematch. Many are still counting out Peter Yan, but Tim Welch revealed a crucial untold detail from their first encounter. Yan, he claimed, supposedly fought with a broken hand, significantly affecting his power and overall performance. This revelation could completely reframe the narrative of their initial bout, suggesting that the upcoming rematch might see a fully capable and far more dangerous Peter Yan. Despite being the reigning champion and having already defeated Yan, Merab Dvalishvili admitted the inherent difficulty of staying motivated for a rematch. He emphasized the crucial need to maintain an underdog mindset, even from the top, knowing that Yan would undoubtedly adjust his style and come with an even harder, more prepared approach. This insight offered a rare glimpse into the mental challenges of high-level competition. Peter Yan, for his part, has left no room for ambiguity regarding his intentions for the rematch. He declared his plan to finish Merab Dvalishvili early by knockout, stating unequivocally that an early stoppage would leave absolutely no talk, no speculations. For Yan, this is about getting the belt back, taking revenge, and proving his dominance beyond any doubt, a clear message of intent. In a deeply personal revelation, Merab Dvalishvili explained why a loss to Peter Yan carries an added political weight. As a Georgian, he asserted, he cannot lose to a Russian fighter, citing past disrespect and a strong opposition to Russian politics. This raw admission unveiled an intense, almost patriotic pressure underlying his performance, transforming the fight into something far more significant than just a title defense. Despite the intense political undertones in his previous victory, Merab Dvalishvili surprisingly showed a renewed respect for Peter Yan. He acknowledged Yan as a better person now, and a former champion, admitting that Yan remains a dangerous opponent, where one punch or a small mistake can change anything. This nuanced perspective indicated a fighter prepared for a truly tough, unpredictable challenge. Michael Bisping provided a strategic blueprint for Peter Yan's success in the rematch. He emphatically stated that Yan must start fast and cannot afford to fall behind early, especially in a 5-round fight. Bisping warned that if Merab Dvalishvili gains an early mental advantage, he becomes incredibly difficult to stop, both physically and psychologically, making a quick start absolutely critical for Yan. Sean O'Malley offered a unique perspective on Merab Dvalishvili's incredible current confidence and grueling schedule. With his 4th title fight this year, O'Malley suggested that such a pace should typically take a toll on a fighter's body. However, he described Merab as built different, naturally tough, not overly strict with diet or training, and seemingly unfazed by the relentless grind, an anomaly in professional combat. Adding another layer to the Merab vs. Yan narrative, Umar Nurmagomedov, despite Merab's public criticism of him, still weighed in with a confident prediction. Umar fully expects Merab to dominate Peter Yan in the rematch, asserting that Merab has improved significantly and showed the ability to apply non-stop pressure for 5 rounds against Corey Sandhagen, suggesting Yan's defense still has crucial holes. Merab Dvalishvili's public dislike for Umar Nurmagomedov was further explained, stemming from Umar calling him a fake champion via a tweet written by someone else. Merab found this deeply disrespectful, questioning Umar's character for not speaking his own word. He emphasized that every social media post of his, even with translation help, always conveyed his exact message, highlighting a deep-seated value for authenticity. Wade Plemons delivered a scathing critique of the UFC's decision, outright blasting the interim title fight as bogus, and the entire matchmaking scenario as ridiculous. He emphasized that Arman Tsarukyan, the rightful #1 contender, was inexplicably left out of the title picture, arguing that the UFC is increasingly drifting away from sport and becoming closer to WWE-style booking, generating massive fan frustration. From Arman Tsarukyan's explosive personal challenge to Merab Dvalishvili's politically charged fight in the deeply contentious interim belt decision, the entire lightweight and bantamweight landscape is a powder keg. Every fighter is battling not just for titles but for legacy and respect, navigating a path that is anything but clear, leaving fans to grapple with the uncertainty and excitement of who will ultimately emerge triumphant in this messy, unpredictable saga.